Hey guys, hope you're all well. Uh, Another kind of off the cuff video here. Um, it's just that something happened yesterday and a couple of days ago, but yesterday uh, I'll explain later. You'll know what I mean. Um, I'm a massive uh, Elvis Presley fan. Always have been all my life. I'm 67 now. I think it all started around about 6, 7 years old, watching his films. Uh, I always loved him. You know what you're like when you're a kid. You know you want to do this, you want to do that. Well, I wanted to sing uh, like Elvis. When I say like Elvis, I never, I'm messed about with it, but I was never serious about trying to, you know, imitate him, impersonate him. I was never interested in that really. Um, but because I used to sing all his songs and he was the only person that I was really bothered about. I liked other people, other groups and things. Of course I did, like all of us. But Elvis was my inspiration, let's just say that. So as the years went by a little bit, I did start to sing some of these songs, and a lot of them stuck in my head. You know, I can not hear them for years, and I still know the words. And I'm still like that today. Um, so, and it led to, I think I was 16, 17 at the time. And every Saturday morning, people used to come from all over my village. Friends like mine. One person told somebody, and then somebody told somebody else. And they used to come up to my dad. I live with my dad. My mum had left home. And I live with my dad. And I used to sing along, sometimes holding a hairbrush or whatever you do, you know what you're like. Uh, yeah, and my best mate, well, more like brothers than best mates. He told somebody, and uh, so I used to every Saturday morning for an hour or so. I used to stand, put the records on the record and sing along to Elvis Presley. Uh, we did our backing tracks back then. I'd never heard of one, so um, like I say, I was only 16, 17-year-old. So I was just singing to the record player. And, mates used to come up and just sit there listening to me, have a cup of tea, whatever. And again, years rolled on. Few things have happened in between. Things that stick out. I'm not going to go through them all, obviously, but one in particular I remember. I was in Royal Navy, and I was doing my training at HMS Raleigh, and we had an American lieutenant. He'd not been there very long, and I'd just been on home leave, and I was late back. It wasn't my fault, by the way, and it made me late back. And you only have to be an hour late, and you're in for it. But I was a bit longer than that. I was a few hours late, and I got backclass because of it. Yes. So I had to go down to the week. You get backclassed a week. So the people that had started at Raleigh a week after me, I had to go back to them. I had a good friend as well. I already had some good friends where I was, but I made another good friend when I got backclassed. Jake from Edinburgh. But anyway, because I've been back last, first day back, they were all going on a trip in a minesweeper around the coast of Cornwall. But I couldn't go. I had to stay back myself in the mess. So I was in the shower and I was singing along in the shower, just singing to myself, and I was singing Can't Help Falling in Love. I used to love singing that song. And I came out of the shower with a towel around me, and the lieutenant he'd just been looking around the mess, and he heard the shower running, he heard me singing. And he looked at me and he said, it was like looking at me and then looking back into the shower. And I saluted him, obviously, Lieutenant. And he always said, no need to salute me. I've not got my hat on. I said, oh yeah, sorry sir, I forgot. And he's looking back into the shower. And I says, are you looking for somebody, sir? He said, no. He said, just you in there? I said, yeah, there's nobody in there now. He said, and he's looking around. He said, so that were you singing? I said, yeah. Yes, sir. He said, if you don't mind me saying so, you're wasted. I went, excuse me, sir. He said, you're wasted. With a voice like that, you should be on a stage somewhere. And this is the gospel truth. And thank you very much, sir. And anyway, he went. And that's just one little story I remember. I remember it as clear as if it was yesterday. So that was nice. That was nice. And there's a few similar things happened over the years. When I met Sharon, my missus, I sung that same song to her outside the bedroom window. And there we are, 31. That was before I went out with her, by the way. And there we are, 31 years later. So, got me bad, eh? Anyway, over all that time, all them years, I'm not a big fan of a lot of Elvis impersonators. I've never have been. A lot of them, for want of a better word, are muppets. And all that crap. I can't be doing with it. I don't mind it if it's meant to be a little bit of comedy, as long as they don't take the mickey too much out of him. Like, for example, Comedy Elvis in Tenerife, fantastic. No beef with him at all. But I'm talking about Elvis impersonators who are pinching money by singing Elvis Presley songs in venues. We once went to one in Blackpool. And any of you watching, I don't know whether you remember the Legends bar at Blackpool. I think it's still there. We've not been for years, but there's a Legends bar at Blackpool. I think it was on the middle pier, I think, if I've got that right. And we went in there one night because there was an Elvis on. There were Elvis, Rod Stewart, he was fantastic, and somebody else. Anyway, this Elvis one come on. And Sharon nearly fell out. Well, she did fall out with me. She had a right pop at me. I was sat there and all I was doing, and it had been about 15 minutes. I don't know how I put it that long, I'll be honest with you. And my head was shaking all the time. Just looking at him like that and shaking my head. And it wouldn't stop. It was like, or on Ever Ready's or something. And so Sharon had a pop at me like, and I said, Baba, I can't stay here watching this garbage. So we went, I think we paid a tenner to watch that. But we went. I couldn't put up with that. So I'm a big, massive critic of ETAs. That's Elvis Tribute Artists. Not all of them, not to everybody with Sainbrush. A few years after that, or a couple of years or so after that, we went to the Queen's Head in Blackpool. And talking about Blackpool, I'll tell you another one in a minute when I've told you about this. But I'm on this, so I'll tell you about this just now. The other one's, I think, is funny. Because it wasn't meant. But this one. We were in the Queen's Head one night in Blackpool. Anybody know where that is? Bottom end of Blackpool, not far from Fair. It's a massive corner pub. Queen's Hotel. That's it. And there was 3 or 4 Elvises on that night. And one of them blew me away. He did Elvis as a, young Elvis. His name was, trying to think of his known now, is massively famous now on the circuit. Oh, Roy Evans. How's his name? Roy Evans. When we met him, that's what I knew him as. We met in the Queen's Head. He was still at the bar, and I went to the bar after he performed, and I said to him, I says, "That was awesome, mate." I said, "And you are the best I've ever heard. I've never heard anybody as good as you." He said, "Oh, thank you very much, mate." We shook hands, and he said, "I'll come have a drink with you in a bit." Where he sat, and I told him. So I did. He come and have a drink with us. And after that night, we kept in touch for a few months, emailing each other. But we arranged to go back the following month, I think it was, because he was booked in there again. So me and Sharon, we couldn't really afford it at the time. But we did, we booked it. We booked a full weekend so that we could go and see him at the Queen's Head again. It was on a whole night on his own. So we gets up there. It was the month after. We gets up there and gets in the hotel. Goes down to check out the venue and just to make sure when he started and all that. See if it was on the board, So we went to walk down, because we were staying not far from it. And I couldn't see anything anyway. And I asked this chap, and he said, "He's not on." He said, "He cancelled." I went, "You what?" I said, "You are kidding me." I said, "We booked a weekend up here just to see him." He said, "No, he cancelled." All right. Nice one. I wasn't very happy at all. Anyway, I messaged him. When we got back outside, I sent him a message. I suppose some of you probably say it's my own fault for not checking with him first. But I didn't think I needed to do that. He was booked in the place. Yeah. So anyway, I messaged him. And he said to me, "They can't afford me now, Pete." And I told Sharon, and I said, what does he mean they can't afford him? Well, somebody picked up on him actually now. And he'd got, in this short period of time, he had got a little bit more prominent, a bit bigger on the scene. So he was getting bookings all over the place and he was making a lot more money. So he cancelled the Queen's Head. Yeah, it is what it is. We weren't very happy because we booked the weekend. Just for one sole reason, was to go and see him. And that's how good he was, by the way. It was really good. Anyway, that chap now is known. For those of you, I don't know if you've guessed who I was talking about, but that's Lee Memphis King. And up until not long ago, very short time ago, I rated him as the best there is. We went and seen him at Mansfield. I didn't bother saying anything to him. I did see him in the foyer, and he looked at me. I don't think he remembered me, because this was a while after. Nice bloke, very nice bloke, good at his job. Anyway, we went to watch him, and I'm not going to go all into it, but while we sat there listening to him, it almost had me in tears. It was that good. It was that good, and that's the kind of massive fan I am of Elvis. I can't talk about Elvis much without getting emotional. Never have been able to. So, you know, in getting depth talking about him. Yeah. So that's Lee Memphis King, by the way. If you ever get a chance to see him, you want to go and see him. If you've never seen him before, he's amazing. He's very, very, very good. And then, quite recently, since then we've seen a few, and I forget the names. Ben, I forgot his name. He's pretty good. Terrible for forgetting the names, to be honest. Because you see that many, you hear of that many. I can't always remember the names, but when it comes, I will tell you. You'll all be shouting at me through the screen now. I can hear you. I just can't remember his second name. Went to see him in Skegness. He is very, very, very good. And we've also seen Sean Clush. I don't rate him as high as a lot of people do. Yeah, he's good. But I don't rate him as high as a lot of people do. One funny thing, I'm just going to step back to Blackpool just a second. I'm still trying to think of Ben's name. You're all right. It'll come in a bit. If you're watching this, Ben, sorry, mate, I just forgot your second name. I might cut this bit out, actually. No, going back to Blackpool. We were walking through Blackpool one day. It was round about 2009, 2010. Yes, somewhere around there. And we're walking through the Winter Gardens, and we saw a sign. Sharon spotted it. So there's a sign there, look, karaoke. Elvis karaoke. I said, Elvis karaoke? So we looked at it, and it was a bit of a competition. It was only a day thing. There had been no planning to it. It's just that one day, and for that night. Elvis karaoke competition. Come and join in. And Sharon said to me, why don't you go in it? I went, don't be daft. I don't take Elvis off, do I? Because they wanted people to go in it and try and take Elvis off. And I don't do that. So I sing as me, but yes, I've been told thousands of times that I sounded like him, but I wasn't trying to. I was just singing that style ever since I was a kid. So anyway, I second. She kept popping off at me like, go on, have a go on. I said, yeah, but they're all going to be turning up dressed up and you know what I mean? Oh, they're not forced to, she says. I says, go on then, I'll give it a shot. So anyway, we come back down later that night, and I've got on a pair of tracky bottoms, t-shirt, and a pair of trainers. And one of them, we got chatting to him, and I think he said it cost him, I forget how much now, a couple of grand or so anyway. This, about $2 or $3 grand. He'd got this jumpsuit on. He come prepared, he did. It was pretty good. So he entered, and I said to Sharon, I said, I'm going to take my name off that list. I said, look at him. I didn't have a beard or anything then, by the way. I've only had this for, about 7, 8 years now. She said, no, don't. Go in it. So we'd already picked my song I was going to sing, because Sharon has always said that I sing it like Elvis. In the ghetto. Anyway, I sung it, and night went on. A few people got there. Others got up. There were a few dressed as Elvis, and him especially. He were on 2 or 3 before me, and I'll cut the story short. Tongue tied now. I won. Honest, I won. I couldn't believe it. There were these daft prizes, and I can't remember exactly where I won now, but I say it was no special. It was just a bit of fun for the night, and anyway, I ended up winning it. You should have seen his face with a $3,000 costume on. He did shake my hand and congratulate me, like, but yeah. So there you go. Just a useless bit of information for you. So back to Elvis ETAs. We find Bouke Scholten. Is he from? I think he's from Netherlands. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Somewhere in Europe, one of them countries. I think it's Netherlands. Bouke. Some people call him Bouke. Bouke. B-O-U-K-E. Look him up. Bouke Scholten. Now, he doesn't dress up as Elvis at all. He doesn't dress up as him at all. But singing, now you're talking, he absolutely blew me away. And I mean, he blew me away. Go and have a listen to him. Have a listen to a few of his songs when he's doing Elvis. I can assure you, you won't believe it. Now, let me get on to something here. Everybody has opinions on who's good and who's not. Some of the crap that I've seen, I've heard people saying how good they are. I'm not going to mention no names, by the way. These ones that go around the pubs, and I'm not kidding, they're just pinching money. And I used to sing like pubs and clubs, by the way, but as myself, not as Elvis. I did a lot of Elvis songs, a few years at it, and I got emphysema. So that cut that off. I ended up singing in care homes, but then I got emphysema, so I had to pack it in altogether. And now I very rarely sing at all. I've got a few on this channel, songs that I've done it past, and there's quite a few more that are not on here. Sharon will put them on eventually, that. But yeah, as I was saying, a lot of these acts, people think they're good. Now, they're either tone deaf or they're stupid, one or two. It's as simple as that, and I'm being harsh about that because it's right. You're either tone deaf or you're stupid if you think some of these acts are any good. They're terrible, a lot of them. And then you've got your mediocre ones who are up and coming, and you've got some a little bit higher than that. I will name one. If you're a regular to Skegness and you go into marine boathouse, marine boathouse, in the summer on Sunday afternoons, around about 2 o'clock, I think. Is it 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that? Go and watch Martin. I forgot what he calls it. Oh, Memphis Flash. Memphis Flash. And I still haven't remembered Ben's name. Will it come to me before I finish this video? I don't know. I might have to pick my phone up and have a look in a minute so I can tell you. It's doing me head in. Yeah, Martin. I won't say his second name. He probably won't want me to, but he's known as Memphis Flash. I've looked him on Facebook, and that lad is getting better and better and better and better. And I think he's only about, was he 32? Something like that. If he's that, he might not be that yet. He's a young lad. And if he carries on like he's doing, oh, yeah, he will be something else. He's already good. He's already very, very, very good. Look him up, like I say. Nice lad as well. Nice lad. Spoke to him a few times. Yes, it's me, Martin. Me and my missus. Never kissed an angel. That's a bit of a joke between us. He's never learnt it properly yet. He was singing along to it one day at Skeggy, and I'm there mouthing the words for him. He did tell everybody as well. He says, I'm copying words off him there. Anyway, Bouke. I told you about Bouke. Right, that brings me up to last Saturday night. Now, I'd heard about this chap a few years ago, actually, and I think I saw him on Stars in Their Eyes. I don't remember too much about that, but I think I did. And I can remember seeing an Elvis competition on television. And I'm not sure. Did he win that? Or did Sean Clush win it? It's a long time ago. I can't remember. I think Sean Clush won it. But correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong. As I said, Sean is great. But I just don't rate him as highly as a lot of people do. And I've seen others that don't as well. And this is what I were getting to. Just quickly. A lot of these people, they say they're Elvis fans, but to know a good ETA, Elvis Tribute Artist, to know a good one, you need to know what you're listening for. And you need to look as well. And if you don't, you're never going to know. You need to know what you are listening for. Which is why my missus will tell you, I can be in a theatre or anywhere, no matter where I am. I can be sat at home and it'll be on telly, it doesn't matter. I will tilt my head and I'll listen, and I'll listen very, very intently because I know what I'm listening for. I'm not going to bother explaining all that to you right now, but I know what I'm listening for. This is why I'm such a big ETA critic. But a lot of people don't. They don't. That's why they think some of these are good, that go around these clubs and pubs and things. Oh, a great Elvis act. Yeah. All right. Anyway, last Saturday night, we went to the Majestic Theatre in Retford. And I'd heard about this bloke, like I say, for a few years. I've heard his name, but I don't know why, but I've never, ever put any research into looking at him. I can't even say why. I think I've heard him a couple of times over years, but never really took a lot of notice. Anyway, he's on at the Majestic. And we kind of last minute booked, really, because when I say last minute, there weren't long left, and there was only seats up in the circle. And I've got emphysema and other crap, and I had to go with 2 or 3 flights of stairs. It didn't do me any good. I'll promise you that. It took me 5 or 10 minutes to recover, like when I sat down. And I like to go outside at half time just to get a bit of fresh air. And just to pass some time on instead of just sitting there on your backside while the show comes back on. But I had to stay where I was. There's no way I was coming back up them again. And anyway, the show. Boy, oh boy. Gordon Hendricks. Wow. Wow. I listened and I listened and I listened. And not all the songs, they're all very good, but not all pinpoint. But the ones that were. Oh. And since then, thoroughly enjoyed the show, by the way. I don't expect you'll ever see this. He's a lovely bloke as well. Me and my missus have been on about him all morning and all afternoon today. We've been watching him nigh on all day, on and off. And this is what I'll get into. I found him on YouTube last night. There's this lady. She's got a load. She's a big fan of his. She's got a load of his videos on her channel. I've got quite a few on mine now because I've been making a playlist today on my channel, and I will make it public. And I actually can't believe how good he is. I can't believe how good he is. Now, I gave him, which is what I always do, on the night, last Saturday, only 3 nights ago, 4, whatever it is, 4 nights ago, I gave him an 8 out of 10. Last night, we watched him for about an hour and a half before we went to bed on YouTube. And it was a lockdown show he did. He does it on Facebook, and this lady's put it on her YouTube channel. It's got a lockdown video. It's got quite a few, but this was the first time we'd ever seen him on YouTube or anyway. And we watched it. So I watched it for about an hour and a half. Might have been a little bit longer than that. And he did quite a few songs. And I was absolutely gobsmacked. Absolutely gobsmacked. I was like that with Bouke. But I think the whole package here, because he dresses up like Elvis and everything else. Although he does it on his videos, by the way. Not on this one I watched last night, anyway. I think he does on some of them. But all that don't really interest me to that extent, anyway. It's their voice. That's why I watch. That's why I go. And I'll tell you what. Gordon Hendricks. Take a bow. Take a bow, lad. You're good. And it's lovely to see as well how much he enjoys what he's doing. He's made us laugh. Just about made us cry last night. He's that good, honestly. He does make you laugh. He's got a great sense of humour. Great accent, a Stoke accent. Yeah, lovely chap. And it does remind me actually, because I can imagine, I don't know, because I don't know anything about him, but I'm imagining him at a young age being like I was. And I said to Sharon today, I says, can you imagine if we'd have had the technology now that they've got now and they're doing all this? Imagine me when I was 16, 17. When, you know, people used to come up to the house and hear me, sat watching me singing along to Elvis Presley on a record player. It would have been a lot different. I was never ever bothered about being famous, by the way. It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me at all. A lot of people have told me I should have, you know, I was supposed to have entered Opportunity Knocks, by the way, in 1970. What was that? 73, I think. 74, 74. My mum sent off and she never told me. And the thing come through the door and she gave it to me. And I said, I'm not going on. I was shy. You can't chuck me in deep end with things like that and expect me to do it. I wasn't going to do it. So and I didn't do it. So it never bothered me. It never has. Never has. But yeah, I just felt I wanted to do this video and just, you know, share with everybody my thoughts on Elvis ETAs in general. The good, the bad, the shite, and the amazing. And so I suppose I've got three that I would call amazing. Yeah. But one a little bit more amazing than the others. And that has to go to Gordon Hendricks. Bouke had a 9, by the way. I gave Gordon Saturday night an 8. Bouke had a 9. Bouke's the one who doesn't dress up, by the way. And Memphis King was a 9. Have I told you what Gordon is? Can't remember if I've told you. Nobody gets a 10, by the way. That's impossible. You can't get a 10. Nobody's that good. To be that good, you'd have to be Elvis Presley. And that's not going to happen, is it? So nobody gets a 10. Gordon, he gets a 9.5. And I heard him do one last off before Sharon went to work tonight. She works a couple hours every night. She said, wait now. This is why I've just decided to sit down and do this. I said to her, he sang this song. I don't remember what it was, but because I've been listening to that many. He did this song and I said to Sharon, I said, he's getting close to a 9.6. I'm not kidding. Anyway, Gordon Hendricks, congratulations, mate. You are the. Take it from me. And probably thousands of other people as well. Because I've seen all the comments. But take it from me. From here. From the heart. You are the. Capital T, capital H, capital E. And a capital B-E-S-T and all. The best Elvis tribute artist anywhere on this planet. Ain't nobody close to you. Nobody. Well done, mate. So that's it, everybody. That's me done. I'm going to go now. I've got Sky Sports News on in there. I'm going to see what they're saying about my boys. I'm a big Liverpool fan. For my sins. No, I very proud Liverpool fan. And hopefully we're going to get another win tomorrow night. So you take care, everybody. Have a fantastic Christmas and a happy New Year. We're going to Skeggy for Christmas and the New Year. So if you're in Skegness over Christmas and New Year, if you're in the ex-servicemen's club, especially in there, we might see you. Just come and say hello if you spot me. You can have a look at another video to see what my missus looks like. So you all take care. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you've not subscribed, Hurry up and do it. Down here somewhere. Only kidding. Well, no, I'm not kidding, but yeah, I'm kidding. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye bye.